Okay, let's talk about finances first. That's coming up first with the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position. So I do feel for those of you who are coupled up, who might have established a home, who might have been like in a stable relationship or even a marriage situation where there are children involved, or you might have children, with a partner who's no longer in the picture with you, and there's definitely discussions regarding money, finances, regarding how to sustain the household. And I do feel a little bit of a financial dip coming through regarding children. For those of you who have children in your midst and you're no longer dealing with a whoever it was, the relationship partner, I do feel, it can come through in the form of child support, alimony. It can come through in the form of just something that is invested into your family life, whether it be people within your family or the physical structure of the family foundation. And there might be some legal disputes, or there might be negotiation as to, what amount is needed in order to sustain the household, okay? So a lot of this can just be, contracts regarding a new home environment. If you're moving, if you're thinking about purchasing property, if you're thinking about even relocating for a new job, and there might be a very, very financially lucrative opportunity coming through on the work front, and you're leaving behind a situation where you were miserable at your job, you were underpaid, underemployed, underappreciated, and you're walking into a new environment that proves to be very fruitful. I do sense it's coming in succession. You're leaving one job and then another one is like lined up on the heels of that. And it can indicate to me, a possible move. It seems to me like it's not, within the immediate vicinity. It seems a little bit further away. So you're going to make a major transition. I do feel movement coming through. I do feel new documents being signed, work contracts, negotiations, and things like that. You are going to come up on top because you're showing up here as a Queen of Swords as well. A Queen of Swords is a very, very sharp, relentless negotiator. Okay. And I do sense that this energy is helping you in the new salary negotiations, in the new work environment, where you're learning to line things up and to gain knowledge in a very systematic way. And you're doing it with a soft touch as well. So it can be male or female watching this. Whatever new work environment you're in, I do sense that you're well received, and you're also showing that not only, are you just good at your job, you actually know a lot more, and you also know how to do things in a procedurally correct way. So this is a very systematic woman, and this is the energy that you are exuding by the end of this month. Somebody who is very sharp, who gets information very quickly, and who retains information, but also in terms of negotiating skills or even reasoning, critical thinking skills. This woman is very sharp. This is a very good energy to bring into a new work environment, okay? So a lot of you might have left previous jobs that didn't work out too well, or where you felt like you were slaving away for very little pay. There's definitely a pay increase, pay negotiations coming through. People are starting to see your potential, and because of it, don't be afraid to ask for a higher salary. They're going to meet you wherever you are, and they know that you're worth a lot more. So if you've been in systematically just underpaid and underemployed, you're coming to this negotiation and you know you're worth a lot more. So don't be afraid to ask for what you feel you're worth, because I do feel that the people you're dealing with, the Justice card, it indicates fairness. Queen of Swords is an air energy. It can be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but innately it's a very balanced, a very systematic, and a very fair. You're dealing with a truth seeker who actually sees the potential in you. They know that you have racked up all these experiences, and you've got a good you've got a good arsenal with which to bargain with other people for higher salaries. So don't get stuck into a headspace that, I don't know if I'm worth, whatever I'm asking. I feel I'm worth it, but they might not feel I'm worth it because I'm new here. They don't really know my capabilities. Well, the point is that when it comes to pay negotiations, it's going to go through multiple rounds. And also, it's not how much you think you need in order to live. It's all about all the education, all the training, all the skills, all your assets that you're bringing into the job. Okay? So it's accumulation, it's the accumulation of all your life experiences that makes you the expert in your field. That's what you're bringing into the job. So never mind what it is that you feel. I guess I can settle for this. It's a livable wage. It's not about having a livable wage. It's about being fair. It's about getting you whatever you feel that you're worth. And that means all the training that got you to this point. So don't shy away from salary negotiations. And especially if it's a new job, they know you're worth it. That's why they brought you on board. So don't worry about, don't feel as if you have to settle for less. It's if it's a big corporation, they don't really care. So if you're dealing with like pay negotiations with like human resources, it's a big corporation, they've got disposable income, you don't really have to worry. If it's a small scale company, they brought you on board and they know they have to compensate in other ways. So don't be afraid to demand what you feel you're worth. I feel that a lot of you will put your foot down, but you don't want to undersell yourself. So just, hype it up and then the negotiation will happen. It's a bargaining process. So it's going to, hit like a middle ground. Okay. So ask for something high and then they'll lowball you and then eventually things will equalize. So you're going to get what you ask for. I do feel that. So, ask for something big within reason, but ask for something big. Okay. Aside from that, the work situation looks very stable. I do feel that once and for all, a lot of you might have left old jobs behind, started a new job, or are at least are going through the hiring process, or at least are like going through the negotiation process of a new job environment. The new job looks very fruitful. You have the world here on top of the justice situation. The world is basically, it's something that is intellectually stimulating. It's fascinating. It's a new field. It's something that is very, I feel almost like interdisciplinary. There's a lot of ways you can go with it. It has room for growth and expansion. It has room for self-employment down the line. It has room for you to be a consultant if that's something you're interested in. Like, possibly working from home, possibly traveling associated with this new job, but innately it's built on a very stable foundation. And whoever is in this work situation, whoever's managing the work situation, they're very fair-minded, and if you work hard, you will be rewarded accordingly. So there is definitely innate fairness built into this new work system. It looks very fruitful. So, don't be afraid to ask for what you feel you're worth, okay? I definitely see a lot of travel for those of you who are thinking about that, and I see it happening like from the 15th to possibly the 24th of the month, okay? So travel outside of your immediate vicinity. This can be permanent relocation, or it can just be like exploring new lands. I almost feel like it can be overseas. Like this is overseas travel. This is, looking at something and being mesmerized by the wonders of the world. So there's definitely travel indicated here. If you are traveling, be very careful about crossing international borders, having the proper documents, or like, you're so mesmerized by something and you get lost. So I'm sensing that here with the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is in this regard is so mesmerized by travel opportunities. The itinerary might fall short, it's disorganized, and there might be, if you're planning to hit like multiple countries, multiple continents, I do feel there are definitely red tapes. And this situation itself, you can help it along, or at least you can mitigate the effects of, stall, delay travel, just by sorting things out from a logistical standpoint, okay? Like just sort things out before you embark on this trip, because I do feel run-ins with authority figures based on not having the right paperwork or not being able to cross or stay in a certain area, mainly because of visa issues. So that's coming through with international travel. And there might be just situations where And lay low when you travel. Just try to be culturally sensitive wherever you are, and lay low, because I do feel some legal issues coming through. I don't sense it's going to be detrimental, but it might just be, it's an annoyance and it's a major delay. So something you want to keep in mind where if you are traveling internationally, because I'm sensing here Page of Swords, things that start out really, really great, and then we end up with the Nine of Wands, in which the man got bashed in the head and he's bleeding. So just be very careful about if you're traveling by land, be careful about accidents and things like that. Okay, I'm not going to dwell too deeply into this. Not all of you are traveling, but that is a message coming through. Legal issues regarding travel. I don't feel that you're going to end up, stuck or anything like that. I do feel movement, but you just want to protect yourself and do it accordingly, okay? And do things in a more systematic manner. Plan out the logistics before you actually board that plane, board that ship, wherever it is that you're going. So on the career front, I definitely see better jobs. And I'm sensing that you have such a strong sense of responsibility when it comes to family. A lot of you are taking care of like elderly parents, or at least you're putting money away or sending money away to parents, to love partners that you might have children with. It's not like a formal child support system, but it's definitely something that you don't renege on responsibilities when it comes to your own children. So that's very commendable. I do feel there's a lot of pressure from the family, and I don't feel that the people are physically pressing you for money or anything like that, but I do sense that there's a lot of pressure to provide for your family to have a good life, okay? And I do sense that for this month, at least, that opportunity is coming through for you to get the job that you love, and for you to be able to achieve the level of income where your family can be comfortable. So, whatever it has been that you've been worried about in the past regarding finances, that is definitely alleviating. You are going to get that job. You are going to have the means to provide adequately for all the people that you love in your life. I also feel as well, we have one single Pentacles card, which indicates finances, money, and the rest of it is all about human relationships. Okay, it's all about like how we connect, how we relate to others, how others view us. And the thing about this is, I want you to be aware of is all the people. I'm not treating this as a person. I'm treating this more as like an energy that is about financial instability. This is a past energy. All the people that are in the rest of this spread, they're all in the upright position. And they're basically people and energies that are swirling around you. They're people that are in your midst as family members, as younger children, as lovers, as potential love interests, as people that you work with, coworkers. And they're all in the upright position, and they're all very supportive, and they're all very sharp. They're all very sharp, like smart, intelligent, worldly, well-meaning, honest as well, all in the upright position, which indicates to me that you try so hard in the past and to take care of people, but it's like they don't really need you to take care of them. They can stand on their own 2 feet. So it's actually really important for you to realize that I'm not going to dwell too much on money, but I do feel that, people are stronger than you think, and they don't really need you to take care of them, okay? So don't take on the burden of the world just because you feel that it's if you're a male watching this, and you feel like I have to take care of my wife, I have to make sure that, whoever I'm dating, they're provided for. Well, the people you're dating, you're dealing with like fire and air signs, and fire and air signs, they don't really place too much emphasis on material things and money. And you're kind of like working, toiling away in order to provide for them, but it's like they don't really care. They just care that you're around, that you make the time for them. That means more to them than bringing home all this money that they don't really value. Okay, something to keep in mind. I'm also sensing that, like, I'm also feeling just that there definitely needs to be, so I'm sensing geographical distance between you and a loved one. I'm sensing travel. So a lot of you might be working overseas. A lot of you might be away from home trying to establish a better life for yourself. And you're homesick. You're essentially homesick, but you deny yourself the opportunity to go home and be around your family members because you're trying to establish your foundation, your financial foundation, your financial base. Once that is secure, then you feel like, okay, I can go home. But it's sort of like in the meantime, the kids are grown up. You might feel a little bit estranged from your loved ones, mainly because you were not physically there. So I'm sensing homesickness. And if that is something coming through for you, you really want to reach out and, get in touch with somebody, or at least just come home and find something else in the local area that might make you a lot happier. Okay, at least because you're going to be at home. And I know with a lot of cancers, you're innately your homebodies. You like to chill at home, and you like to, do the traditional things, which is like cooking, entertaining at home, having guests over, barbecuing, and just enjoying other people's presence in your life. You're not one to go out and drink the night away like a Leo or a Sagittarius or even like a Libra. You're not one to mingle and socialize, and like you don't want to have to do small talk with people. You just want to be around people who know you well, people who are well meaning, people you trust, and people who value, people with a common experience as you. So that's what you really want. And there is no sense in being so far away from home just to cultivate the financial base when you're perpetually homesick. I do feel a bout of homesickness coming through, and a lot of you might travel too to go home. So that's, which is also, something that is really good. So travel in general is always good, but I do feel that, homesickness is definitely something that that is tugging at you for this month. For those of you who are dealing with a fire sign and an air sign, fire signs are Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And an air sign is an Aquarius, a Gemini, and a Libra. I feel that a lot of you are trying to come back into the life of an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, of an air sign. Because the way the cards are reading here is that there's definitely, you're definitely interested in this air sign. There is a great deal of physical attraction based on the Empress in the world. This is somebody, it can be male or female air sign. The air sign is somebody who is very, very independent, who rules his or her domain with a lot of, they're strong. They're strong, but they're also like very reasonable, and they're also very soft at heart. But innately, they are very strong and resilient. They're independent. They know how to be on their own. And if you're dealing with this energy, it's kind of hard for you to know where you stand with them. Okay. If it's a new energy and you're dealing with like a new, brand new air sign, they put on a very tough facade. She's got her sword up. She's very guarded with her heart, and she wants to know your intentions first before she puts down that sword. And air signs, they don't really put up with BS. They really don't. So if you come in with like false intentions, they, after a few questions, they will know it, and they're a pretty good judge of character. And deep down, they have a very, very soft heart. They are nurturing, they are caring, but they don't appreciate, falseness in others. For those of you who might have dealt with an air sign in the past and the situation descended, into chaos, for some reason there might have been a separation physically or even just emotionally. There might have been estrangements, or there might have been a breakup, and you or the other party is demanding answers, for example, or if it's ended in the past and you're trying to roll back into their life, for example. I just want you to be, open and honest, because I do feel this person still cares about you. They're very soft. They just put on a tough facade, but they're very soft deep down. So if you're thinking about them, I do feel a lot of you are thinking about this person and you're wondering what's going on, how they're doing, and you're wondering if they're seeing other people. So it's kind of like, you know how you get in a relationship and you really like somebody, but for some reason things just didn't work out. But you are very, you care about them on a human level and you want them to be with somebody who is worthy of them. And that's basically that's what it means to love somebody on a human level, when you can let them go and when you can wish them the best. But I do feel a lot of you have let somebody go, somebody who was really good for you, but for some reason things just didn't work out and you're trying to come back in this month just to see, because you want to know if they're single, if they're dating other people, you want to know how they're doing, but you're approaching it in a very roundabout manner, the way that you Cancers tend to do. And they're just like, don't give me the runaround. What the hell do you want? So just be honest. Just be honest. And I feel like it can end very well if you're just honest, okay? So don't put on a front. Don't be so guarded. Don't get defensive. They're just really tired of the BS and they really want some answers. So just be honest. Put your guard down. I do sense some jealousies here, okay? They might have moved on, or they might have they might have you believe that they moved on, but I do feel deep down it's still a sore spot from both sides. There's still some raw patches associated with this separation. It hasn't healed yet, so they're on guard, you are on guard, and it's not a you don't want to be on guard and at a standoff with an air sign, because you're just not going to win, okay? So why don't you just open up? And I do feel that once you open up, it's sort of like you're holding a wand and you're ready to fight, and they're holding a sword and they're ready to cut you down. So we both know who's going to lose here. So just don't get too defensive. For those of you who are dealing with a fire sign, I do sense this fire sign is a brand new person. Okay, so this is somebody that can be in the picture for this month. This is a page energy, brand new person. It's coming on the heels of a major transformation and change in your life. So the fire sign is, once again, Aries, Sagittarius, Leos. I do feel this person is interested in settling down. They are very, very fascinated by you. I do feel almost like they look up to you a great deal. They can be, younger biologically or just emotionally or even mentally. I feel like they're kind of like at that threshold of their life, or at the they're just coming into their own, and they have a lot of growing up to do, which is not a bad thing. They're just at that, starting point in their adult life, or they're just at that point where the world starts to open up for them, or through their association with you, they're starting to realize that, wow, I'm learning so much from you. I really look up to you. I really admire you. So there's definitely admiration. There's definitely somebody, this is somebody who's showing interest. They do want a relationship. They want stability, and they really like you. There's definitely physical attraction. The page is looking up at the world, and they're very hopeful about a future with you. If you are not serious about this fire sign, you really have to indicate that up front, because they've been through a lot in their past, and they also don't really want to they don't want false promises, okay? So Cancers, the only energy that I'm sensing might be problematic for you is having too many suitors, and then you might be tempted to mislead or promise more. I don't feel that there's dishonesty here. I don't sense dishonesty with this spread, but I do feel that you might promise more. Deep down, your heart might be in, you might have the best intentions, but you might promise more than you're willing to deliver. Your heart might still be here with another person, but you're spending your time with another person. So make sure your heart and your body are in the same, synced up nicely and with the same person, because that makes life a lot less complicated, okay? At the center of this spread is this. It's a lot of you might be dealing with two people, because the justice excuse me, the justice card is all about balance. So balancing between two energies, which is, once again, knowing what's good for you and knowing what, like choosing between a relationship that is good for you and choosing between a relationship that is built purely on physical desire, for example. It can also be legal paperwork's coming through as a result of an air sign person. So it can be, related to a child, like I said, child support, something like that, and somebody demanding more than you have to offer. Okay, so this can be in a monetary way where you're already feeling a little bit depleted and they're asking for a little bit more from you and you don't have it to give. So either way, I feel that they're upfront, so they're honest about it. So if you don't have enough to give, just tell them, I can make installment payments, or I can get a rain check, get back to you like by next month. Okay, so that's how you can mitigate the effects. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I've left out here. So I do feel October is going to be a good month. Like I said, for a lot of signs just across the board. You do have a very good card here, the Ten of Cups, which is, the ultimate card of emotional happiness, the apex of the human experience where, there's bliss and joy, emotional support coming from others, love, attraction, and just for once in your life, I feel like for once in a really long time, like even since like June of 2014, you were I felt the energy where you were like scattered, you were blown left and right, and you had to relocate multiple times for work, and you were just like swept up in the whirlwind of things. For once in your life, things are starting to stabilize. You are coming back down to the real world, and plans are coming into place, and you're the one that is basically creating the plans that you want. You're creating the future that you want. So being swept up in, the flow of life, that's going to end this month. A lot of you will start to stabilize. Your foundation is being built, and it's being built on something very firm, very even, and very solid. The only thing is, I do feel, in the process of having to shift around, shuffle around from place to place, from jobs to jobs, and not having a firm family foundation, not having a firm foundation for yourself, not having a strong sense of self, even all the good things are happening around you, but you're still a little bit skeptical. So, just let that go. And I do sense this is going to be a very, very good month for you, okay, Cancers? Take care of health issues. Be careful about... I'm getting Three of Swords here as a health card. Do your research when it comes to, health diagnoses. And especially when it comes to elective surgeries, don't do any elective surgeries. Mercury in retrograde is not a good time for beautification, improvements, enhancements, okay? Especially elective surgeries, because they are going to go awry. And if you receive like some news regarding health issues, get a second opinion, and make sure that... I just feel like you should do some research on your own. It's always good to do research on your own anyways, but I do feel, especially for this month with that haywire Mercury in retrograde period, diagnoses can be wrong even though they come from the experts. You always need a second opinion, and you also want to do the research. That way you are mentally prepared for whatever news it is that they're trying to deliver, okay? Aside from that, it is going to be a good month, and I don't sense financial worries are going to be a problem in the future, all right?